Hello everybody and welcome to the first online craft club for Spa Sweethearts WI. I hope you're all okay and we are going to start with iris folding. So some of you have got a template like this one printed off the internet and some of you may have drawn your own based on the one I sent you. If you have one already like this, you need to have a heart shape exactly the same size as this one. So you may need to trace, or if you've printed off two, you can do that, but it needs to be the same size. If you're making one of your own, I'm going to show you how to do it. So to get a perfect heart, you need a piece of scrap paper, and then you need to fold it in half and do a half heart shape like that to cut out, and then you'll have a perfectly symmetrical heart. Or if you've got your one off your other piece of paper, use that one. Put that down on a piece of plain paper or card, draw around it and cut it out, and you will end up with this. That's what you need. Okay, if you're unsure how to cut inside a shape, you fold it in half without actually doing the fold, cut, and that allows you to get your scissors inside to cut that out. You then need to place this one exactly on top of your other template so that it looks like that. Okay, I've done these into colours for demonstration purposes, but you will have it written like that. Okay, this template that some of you may have is slightly different, but you're following the same idea. Okay, it's got a slightly different numbering system, but you would need to put your other heart over the top of it. If you are using this one, you might need this section, so you might want to cut that out first just to put it on one side so that you can see it. Okay, you don't want your template to be slipping around too much, so a little weight on each corner or some paper clips at the top would be helpful. You need to make sure you've got your three colours totally separate so that you know what they are. If this is the first time you're doing it, we're going to use three really contrasting colours so you can keep track of them. But as you get better, you can do colours that blend into each other and make a lovely swirl. But we need to have colour 1, 2 and 3, or A, B and C on the other pattern. So I'm using green for colour 1. No, I'm not, colour A actually. Yellow is colour B and pink is colour C. So you need to have 10 strips of each one approximately. We're going to be able to use less. And they need to be cut into 2 centimetres approximately across like that. It doesn't matter on the length, okay? The length will do on different, whatever paper you've got. You'll be able to see there are big strips and small strips as we go along. So you've got that like that, okay? Now, for proper iris folding, you get your strip and you fold it in half lengthways like that, making a really good fold, as is the secret to all paper-based activities. Give it a really good fold as you go across. Now I'm using ribbon for the demonstration, and also for a first time you can just use the strip as it is and then fold it later. If you know, fold it at another time for a second time. We'll do that on the advanced one later on, but we're just going to use a strip now. Now this strip is going to go down where it says 1A on the top of your template. So you need to make it, it's going to go down like that. Put it around. So it needs to be just a bit longer. So I'm going to cut this one here. I'm doing a super big one for the demonstration, so it's no good giving you the exact measurements for it. But it needs to be able to be just a little bit longer on either side than your heart. So you need to put a little bit of glue, and any form of glue is okay. Glue stick is perfectly fine. If you only have PVA, that's the white sticky stuff. At home, that's fine, and if you don't have any form of glue at the moment, then a tiny piece of sellotape is also absolutely fine. So you need to put a bit of glue on each end. So we have a little bit of glue on here and a little bit of glue on here. And then we're going to stick it down following the exact line of the template underneath. So that's the important thing. So if I just remove it for you there, you can see where the line was. I haven't got enough fingers now, I think, to show you, but the line goes across like that, and you are sticking that on there. Now don't you do this, because I'm just going to show you. You keep yours together, but what you're looking at in the end, that will be the right side. So you're seeing it like this here, okay? But you can keep your two together. And that's your first bit of iris folding, where it looks like that. If it was the folded one, you need to make sure the folded side is at the bottom. So the folded side would be there when you're going down. But we'll stick with strips just to start with. Now, it's important now not to go on to the next one there, but to go on to the next number one, which is down here and is our second colour. And our second colour is actually pink on here. I think I may have told you those in the wrong order earlier. Okay, there's a live broadcast for you. So I'm going to make it again the right kind of length. Now keep the little ones you cut off inside there because we're totally going to use those later. Okay, so I've got the same thing and I put it on 1B down there and I measured that it was more or less the same on either side. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on each end and stick it down again. Now because I keep picking mine up, it's moved a little bit off the bottom of the template, but I can just rearrange it. But you don't need to keep picking yours up every couple of minutes. Okay, now don't panic if at this stage you have a bit of strip hanging over the edge at the bottom. It can all be tidied up afterwards when you're doing that. So we now have the pink one here. Can you guess what we're going to do next? That's right, we're going to go to the next one here, which is the yellow one going across like that, and we will do the same thing. Now this is where you put your special effect on and you fast forward to seeing the end bit, but we're not quite ready for that yet. And I don't know, I'm totally not ready for that in my filming ways. Okay, so we've got a pink one, a green one, a pink one and a yellow one going around like that. Okay, as we go. So now we're going back to our pink one, our green one, sorry. Now it might be that the one you cut off is long enough. It is in my case. If it isn't, cut another one. Now when you put your second one on, you are following the black line. It doesn't matter how much they are overlapping here. The important thing is to make sure this one is the same. That's why it didn't matter that every single one of them was exactly the same width as you cut it, because all this overlapping could be a lot or a little. It's this that's the important thing. And if you flip it over now, don't do it. You can just look at mine. That's where you're getting the sort of foldy look like that as it goes along. Okay, so then we're going to keep going round, doing a green one, and then a pink one, and then a yellow one, all the way around. Okay, so my director, who's just wandered off at the moment, but if he'd like to come back and just press pause there, we can move on and I'll show you what to do in the end one. Okay, see you soon. Hello, so by the magic of editing, we're now part way round, but I just thought I'd show you what happens when you are getting along a little bit. So I've got this far, and the next one I'm going to do is a pink one. Now if I put my pink one in here, it's going to go over the yellow ones there, and that's absolutely fine. That's what it should be doing. Just keep sticking them on, following those lines like that, and it will be absolutely fine. It doesn't really matter which way around. You don't want any holes in the middle there, but you do want it to be going all the way around. So that was a yellow one, and that was a green one here. So now if I show you what I'm doing with the green one, because I need to follow this black line, it's going like that, just like that, so it doesn't matter that it's not all the way around. Remember, this is the back, so it doesn't matter how untidy it is. Iris folding is one of those ones that does have an untidy back with that. You know, it's not something like crochet where it looks just as good on the front and the back. It is something that doesn't, the back is going to need covering up a little bit when we get there. Okay, now if you did make your own template and it's not one of the printed ones, you may have, it may be, I've got one less pink on mine than the other two because I drew my own template, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's what we've got. We're going to clear all of those things out, and we have now got our beautiful, beautiful looking heart. I shall move that a bit closer, hopefully, so that you can then see that. This section in the middle is the iris. That's why it's called iris folding. Okay, so we'll put that on one side there, and that is supposed to have something beautiful in the middle of it. So obviously I was thinking, if you notice we now have the Spa Sweethearts banner behind us, we could, using the bit from the programme, put the Spa Sweethearts little heart logo in the middle there. If we could have that. Okay. But you could also have anything you like, really. There's some paper little pictures here. You could put a flower in the middle. If I can find the flower, you could put there. That would be the right sort of thing for the middle there. Or anything that you like. Okay, I'm just going to use that one, I think, just for, oh, I've lost my scissors, for my demonstration there. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue around. Check that it's looking good from the other side. I'm going to use that one. Oh, that one. That's what I'm going to decide. And then you have got that. Okay, and that looks really gorgeous. Now obviously the back is really untidy, and that is where you are going to use another piece of paper, anything you like, a lovely decorative one, a plain one, and stick that over the top with those so that you can't see any of your untidy back, and you've got that like that. Okay. Now, iris folding can be used for all kinds of things. You can use that with, this is the same one folded. Okay, so each one then is folded, and remember you have your strip. So here would be one of my pink strips, and you fold them in half lengthways and then do exactly the same. So you've got it folded like that in half lengthways with a really good fold, and it makes it look as if you've done some sort of really complicated of going all the way around folding one, when really it's lots of different strips folded like that, and the fold side is always downwards as you're going. That's what has happened in the heart one there, with doing that. Okay, the cat is there for several of us who like cats. We've put a little piece of holographic paper in there, and this was only done on paper with some more muted colours, not my palette, but needs must while we're stuck at home. You can do it with ribbons as well. They're just ribbons not folded over at all, and these were just strips in a slightly more coordinated way. They all came from one pack, and I used the same little bird in the middle as came on several of them. Okay, so there is iris folding. That one has an attractive back to cover up all of those in a card. They make lovely cards. They're also quite absorbing to do. If you'd like to join me next time, we are going to be making origami flowers. 2 different types of origami flower. This is number 1, the slightly simpler one, and this is number 2. We can turn them into all kinds of things that I will show you next time. And all you need for that, as well as the glue stick and scissors, are a circle or a square of any type of paper. They will be done. I've done these ones out of TV guides, anything like that, so saving any kind of paper that you've got. Join me for our second crafting time next week. Goodbye.